remember. Again, it's too hard for Katalainen. And now Lawson picking up. Katalainen there. Once again, good to the rescue. Again, once again, Jack. Jack shaping to shoot. Oh, it's a great shot. Clips the top of the crossbar. The intent was there from Matthias Jack. Robert Douglas stretching as far as he could, with the ball clipping the top of the crossbar. Jack to Tom Smith on the far side to John O'Neill. We've only seen him in flashes so far in this game. His keeper will probably have a bit more. And there's Tom Smith down in the penalty area, and yes, it's a penalty kick, says George Clyde. No hesitation from the referee. Tom Smith picked up the loose ball into the penalty area, but he was fouled in the tackle, and that will be a penalty for Hibs. Now, is it Latifi to put Hibs ahead against league leaders? Robert Douglas to his left. It wasn't the worst penalty. I think you credit that as a good save by the goalkeeper. And now here's a gap, it's through. Douglas has come off his line. Chance now for Hibs. They must score. And once again, perhaps signs it's not to be Hibs' day. Oh, and the Gat had got round the goalkeeper. There were two players in the middle. All he had to do was find one of them. John O'Neill was the preferred option, but swept away by the defence. So to Nimsadze, he's been quiet this afternoon, but here's Caballero. Sarah in the middle. And Benetti won't reach there. Latifi now. Hibs on the attack, on the break. Latifi, he has Agat with him. And here is Agat. What will he do this time? Quite simply superb. No doubts in his mind. He knew exactly where that ball was going to go. And it's hero worship here at Easter Road. It was a fine break by Hibs. Latifi coming forward. It was a good ball to Agat, and from the moment he picked up the ball in space, his defender wasn't with him. There really was only going to be one outcome. Hibs lead 2-1. Again. Dundee hustling and they're bustling, and they put Hibs off their stride on that occasion. Caballero. That's nice skills from the South American. Gary Smith, though, alert to the danger. Well, he's fallen over the ball. And it's all got very untidy and very ugly on the far side. Was there an elbow used? It looks as if the referee will have to step in here with the Hibs man on the ground holding his head. And there could be some serious repercussions here for Dundee. There is going to be for Caballero. And it might well be a red card. It is! Use of an elbow. Caballero sent off. And this game explodes just before half-time. And with Lawson, they complete the clearance, and Agat now with Demarque. The Italian defender does his job. Robert Douglas keeps his nerve. And that will be the final action of an interesting, a very interesting and a dramatic first half at Easter Road. It's Hibs 2, Dundee 1. Well, Easter Road might be flat now, but we don't have a level playing field, at least on the field, with Dundee down to 10 men. Caballero sent off just before half-time, and 45 minutes, it could prove a real tough test. Sarah with a nice turn on halfway, but the ball breaks through for Latifi, and a chance for him to run. Well, he's brought down. It was Billy O, and that will be a yellow card for the Dundee man. There was a similarity there to the run from Agat in the first half. It looked as if Latipi was ready to go all the way until he was brought down. No hesitation from the referee, no real decision for him to make. He's firing up away from the goal, but there's real power in this Frenchman's boots. And he certainly hit that one. A wee bit too straight to Robert Douglas, and indeed, I suggest the goalkeeper made it look easy. And Dundee find it difficult to make any inroads at all. But here's Bonetti. Can he wriggle free? He's got help on the touchline through Barry Smith if he wants him. But all too tight. Although a chance now for Sarah. He's past the goalie. And that was a real chance for Dundee. Almost out of nothing. Nick Colgan didn't see Sarah coming in the blind side. He managed to get round the goalkeeper, and the shot deflected. And Faulkner, first chance to stretch his legs. Gary Smith. Can they find Morocco? And Sarah. And then Nimsadze. Good effort from the Georgian. A reasonable move from Dundee. First time shot, flying wide of Nick Colgan's right-hand post. And then Lawson with Latipi hugging that touchline. Chance to cut inside, Lehman. Well, it's a good move from Hibs if it can supply a finish. They need the telling run or the telling pass. Maybe some magic from this wee man. There's John O'Neill, still probably too far out to cause real problems. To Tom Smith. He'll go for the byline. He almost tied himself up in knots, but he'll win the corner kick. Well, the fans don't like this. It's gone short for O'Neill. To the far post. Lehman is there. And Dirk Lehman ties it up for Hibs. It was almost slow motion as John O'Neill sent the ball over. Dirk Lehman poaching in the far post, and his downward header too good for Robert Douglas. It looks as if it's game, set and match for Hibs. It's Hibs 3, Dundee 1. Lawson picks up the ball from Nimsadze and Agathe. Lawson's continued his run. Tweed in with him, but a chance for Hibs again. And Dirk Lehman can't believe it. 2 goals in a minute. Hibs on easy street. Oh, and it's agony for Dundee. But for Hibs, it's joy unconfined. A super break down the left from Lawson. He managed to get the break of the ball, and there was Lehman in the middle. A simple tap in, and that made it Hibs 4, Dundee 1. Agat, at this late stage in the game, still has enough to get past players. John O'Neill. Lawson at the far side. And the far post is Tom Smith. Brings it back. Oh, Hibs showboating a bit now. And can afford to. Stuart Lovell makes it 5. And it looks, at this stage, all too easy for Hibs. Well, it was a long ball from Lawson to the far post. It looked as if it was going out. It was kept in. Lovell seemed to have missed a chance. Eventually found the far post. That's a 5th. And it's easy street for Hibs. And an easy one in the end for Colgan, although he did have to concede the corner kick and clearing. Well, trouble here again for one of the Dundee players, another yellow card, and indeed a red card. A late challenge, and it's turning into an even worse day now for Dundee. Fabrizio Billio, the second Dundee player sent off. Competitive to the end. There can't be an awful lot left. The referee looking at his watch and decides that is time. There's been a mountain in this second half for Dundee to climb, and in truth, they never get past the foothills. It's all been about Hibs. A scintillating performance from Alec McLeish's men. Dundee came here as league leaders. That has been turned completely on its head. The final score at Easter Road, Hibs 5, Dundee 1. Well, Didier Agathe has been on a 3-month contract. Has he done enough yet to persuade you to sign him for longer?
Still on trial. Well, you know, he's done well. We're vulnerable, obviously, to predators. We know that the agents are working behind the scenes. They've asked us if we should talk. I said yes, we'd like to talk. That was Thursday or Friday there. I said, but let's get the game out of the way and we'll talk Monday.
How determined are you to secure a longer contract here at Hibs?
Not ask me a question like this when I play. I try to forget this. I try just to take pleasure on the ground. That's more important for me. Yes.
But you would like to stay here?
I would like to stay here, but first I would like to prove myself I can play in Premier League.
Yeah, I think he's proven himself, Graham. We'll talk about him specifically in a moment, but a good performance from Hibs.
It was, yeah, and you kind of sense this early in the season that it's going to come right for Alec McLeish. I mean, I think that the maturing of Alec McLeish as a manager might be one of the stories of this season. He served some time at Motherwell, learned the ropes. Now he's using his contact to bring in people like Soze, Zitelli. He signed Agathe, who's proving a good buy, and I think this might be a very interesting season for McLeish and Hibs.
The key thing for Agathe is he's on a 3-month trial effectively. They are looking to tie him up, but he has been touted round English clubs as well, and on this performance you can see why.
Well, this was a great performance. He had an outstanding first half, 2 outstanding goals. This was a classic case. 10 years ago, had this happened, he would have been macheted by a defender who would have got no more than a yellow card. But the new rules in football have allowed this kind of skill to flourish. Yeah. And this was a brilliant example of it. Strength and pace, running through defenders who were scared to foul him, and he got away with it.
Yeah, and he shows his touch here with a stunning finish.
A great first touch, one touch, perfect pass and a curling finish. But you know, we don't want to rush judgment with a player. Every player can have one outstanding day, but on the evidence of yesterday, Alec McLeish will be cursing himself he didn't give him an automatic 3-year contract, but he's on a 3-month contract.
But he certainly bounced back from that horrendous miss against Hearts.
Sure, that's right, yeah. And so if you're entitled to a great day, you're entitled to a gaff as well, and he has recovered from that.
Now, at 1-1, there was a penalty for Hibs, which Rob Douglas did particularly well to save.
Yes, I thought it was a clear penalty. Tangle on the edge of the box. The replay here shows that the trip was made by the defender. Douglas, I think, anticipated it, moved before the ball, but it was a great save. Yeah. Terrific save. Every goalkeeper anticipates a penalty, and he guessed right and he stretched himself.
Everyone had a laugh and a joke and questioned the Latin temperament at Dundee, and this is, I think, it's the 3rd red card coming up. Caballero, do you feel some sympathy for him here?
A little bit, yes, because I mean we're all human, and he reacted. This is a brutish challenge by Jack there. Yeah. Now that was a bookable challenge. The Hibs defender will say he went for the ball, but you can be booked for a dangerous challenge. Look at that. That almost amounts to a thuggish challenge. Yeah. So I think that deserved a booking. But the Caballero reacted, and of course he's red carded for doing so.
But I wonder if people are going to noise these players up as the season goes on.
Well, I think they will. I think a lot of the big money buys in Scotland or the overseas buys are hounded. I watched Chris Sutton at Celtic Park last week. Chris Sutton is no saint, but he was set upon by players. They hounded him in packs because he's £6 million signing and they want to get him. Gascoigne, who was no saint either, he suffered the same at Rangers, and I think you will find that a lot of the Dundee players will suffer that. So I think you're right. I think they are targeted to a certain degree.
Yeah, credit to Hibs yesterday though, because Dirk Lehmann came on as a substitute and scored a couple of goals, and that'll do his conference a world of good.
Well, by this stage, confidence was coursing through Hibs, and Lehman, who Alec McLeish signed at the beginning of last season, has never really established himself at Hibs. I don't think he's ever had a consistent run of first-team games, but he came on as a substitute, 2 goals in a minute, and he took them well.
Agat involved again there with a through ball.
Yes, he was, yes. He had a terrific game. He had an absolutely terrific game. I think after his 2 goals in the first half, he laid it on perfectly there, cut back, and Lehman had a relatively easy task. But after his 2 goals in the first half, Agat just wanted to do anything. You see players that it happens to players. They want to get on the ball all the time. They want to be the main source of possession.
Dundee finished with 9 men, but again it was a simple second yellow card for Billio when we see it here.
Yeah, I think there were just 2 bookable offences. This, I believe, is the second one. Yes, it is, and it's just a bit of a rash challenge. He took him out late. He then complained to the referee. He completely missed the ball and caught the player with his ankles. Complained to the referee, second bookable.